Now, the Law Society of Kenya has come out to call out President William Ruto for his recent remarks when he toured the Western Kenya region, where he promised to deal with the cartels in the sugar industry. This comes as one of the people that are believed to be involved in the sugar sector, especially Mumias Sugar Company, businessman Rai was abducted and later released. The Law Society of Kenya is calling on the president to apologize to Kenyans and refrain from actually giving those particular remarks, which they say is taking the country back to the colonial days. We have so much and a lot of stories that we have been preparing for you across during the day, so that we get to inform you at this particular moment here on the Bottomline KE. My name is Brian Amwai. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Josephine Ouko. Do engage us on our socials at Amwai Brian, that is on Twitter at Lookuptv. The hashtag we're using tonight is the Bottomline KE. We are also live on Facebook, where you can send your feedback and we'll be able to sample some of it. The top stories tonight. On the bottom line tonight, the controversial WorldCoin registration could still be ongoing, Parliament told as the 17-member committee starts probe. Also tonight, the Law Society of Kenya slams President William Ruto's remarks on Mumias sugar dispute, terming it concerning. And hiked fare prices and traffic congestion as schools reopen across the country. All right, just like we said, we do welcome your feedback on this particular program on Twitter at Lookuptv, on Facebook at Lookuptv. Do share with us where you are watching us from and what you think about the stories that we are running today, and we'll be able to sample some of it as we continue with the program tonight. Now, let's get started. The controversial WorldCoin activity is still ongoing in the country. That is the question the National Assembly ad hoc committee sought to find out today. And as Mevin Getembe now reports, the WorldCoin venture started off as a research project with schools as a case study, but later converted to business. Let's take a look at that particular report.
Even after WorldCoin registration were altered following a notice given by the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki, the National Assembly ad hoc committee today learned that those who had been registered are still assessing services in websites.
Now they have a timer that is indicating, counting all over how people are getting into, and I think as of today morning it was clocking 2.3 million verified.
How many Kenyans were registered, which authority was aware of the existing operations, and under what legal policies was the operation registered, are some of the contentious issues that seek clarification.
WorldCoin registration in Kenya, are they in a breach of any of the laws? Yes. We've already mentioned a few of those laws, especially the issue of onboarding. Data protection in this country, you are not allowed to export that data to an external storage device. We've already seen that the data was put to Amazon. We don't know what was put there. How was it put there? How can we...
Appearing before the Parliamentary Committee today, the National Computer and Cybercrime Coordination Committee presented a report on current investigation status on the registration of WorldCoin as they seek to find answers around the WorldCoin puzzle.
Every emerging technology must have a launch pad. And it's unfortunate that most of the developing economies, if you look at the list of the 34 countries that this WorldCoin is operating from, you can see it is tailored to specifically target the vulnerable citizens of these developing countries. So,
however, the HC4 committee failed to sufficiently respond to the complex issues raised and asked more time to submit a written report. The 17-member committee has 42 days to undertake the task and give an assessment. The probe is expected to resume tomorrow. Mevin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Thank you, Mevin Getembe, for that particular report. Moving on, the Law Society of Kenya and other human rights organizations now want President William Ruto to retract and apologize following his sentiments, or rather sentiments that those who are involved in the case of Mumias Sugar will leave the country, meet their maker, or go to jail. Now, the society says it will not be far-fetched to assume the state had a hand in businessman Jaswant Rai's kidnapping, since he is more involved in the Mumias sugar saga. The groups have also accused the president of going against his promise not to allow extrajudicial killings.
Na nimeambia mambo ni mangapi? Matatu. Wakitaka kuniletea kisirani, either wahame Kenya, ama nitawaweka jela, ama wasafiri waende mbinguni.
It is a statement that has caught the attention of the nation. A man who earlier on had vowed not to use extrajudicial means to settle scores is now at the center of the latest abduction, that of businessman Jaswant Rai, who was abducted and later released for what is believed to be his involvement in the Mumias sugar case.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the Law Society of Kenya, Haki Africa and Amnesty International now want the president to offer an apology and let the law take its course.
Immediately, Mr. Rai was abducted. The president is on record as having made statements that he will stop at nothing to resolve this matter of Mumias sugar. And yesterday, he buttressed those comments by issuing the very, very chilling threats that he did to those who have filed cases with regards to the ownership and control of Mumias sugar.
Alionekana kuonya wale ambao wamefikisha kesi mahakamani kuhusu umiliki wa Mumias Sugar Company. Kwa matamshi yake ni kama kwamba alikuwa anawaambia wachague mambo matatu. La kwanza wahame Kenya, ya pili kwamba atawaweka korokoroni, na ya tatu wasafiri waende mbinguni. Na yale matamshi ambayo yametamkwa na rais ni kama kwamba yamechukua katiba na kuisitisha kutotumika katika nchi yetu hii.
LSK now says that lawyers representing the businessmen have been threatened and asked to withdraw the case.
Haya matamshi kama yanavyochukuliwa huenda yanaashiria kwamba ni vitisho kwa wale wote ambao wanawakilisha kesi za Mumias Sugar Company.
There have been an attempt, and we know this because we have dealt with these lawyers, to intimidate the lawyers who are handling these cases on behalf of the parties that are before the court. But as a law society, we wish to remind them that they took an oath to serve justice without fear or favor.
The groups have accused the president of making a turn on a promise he made on extrajudicial killings, saying it is a subject of concern.
And so it is that about turn that we are concerned about, because it starts with one person before it becomes a flood. And so therefore, we do not want to see a repeat of our rivers, our forests being polluted or being dotted with people who have been dealt with in an extrajudicial manner. And that is the reason why we are calling and making this passionate appeal to the president and to his government.
Now, President William Ruto has said the government will fund fallen sugar companies in the western region to overhaul its obsolete equipment. Now, speaking as he toured Nzoia Sugar Company, Ruto stated that the government will also provide funds to boost the cultivation of its nucleus estates, with the move seeking to increase the company's sugarcane production and milling capacity for optimal operation. Rugaival now reports.
Lack of strong management, waste of public money, and privatization of sugar industries and companies are among the points that have been hindering the progress of sugar farming in Kenya.
Wizara yangu ya kilimo, wizara ya fedha, nimeita wabunge wote wa kutoka hapa kwenu, wameketi chini na wizara ya kilimo. Nimeita governors wote akiwemo governor wenu, wameketi chini na wizara yetu ya kilimo. Na sasa tumekubaliana. Na tumekubaliana, number one, mambo ya privatization ya kuuza shamba ya wananchi tuachane naye, vile tulikubaliana.
President William Ruto has given 3 recommendations to more mismanagements in food production industries in Kenya.
Mtu yeyote ambaye anapanga ati kuiba pesa ya serikali, my friend, tafuta nchi ingine. Mimi nimewaambia hawa wakora wote, wezi wote, matapeli, nimesema hawa watu mambo yao ni 3. Si ndio? Either wahame Kenya, ama waende jela, ama waende mbinguni.
President William Ruto is annoyed by the management that has been ruling the agricultural sectors, saying that he is tired of the continued failing system of managers. Speaking in Bungoma County at the Nzoia Sugar Factory, Ruto has promised to fund projects to repair those industries.
Serikali ya Kenya tutaweka investment kwa cane development ya Nzoia na kampuni zile zingine, number 1. Na number 2, tutaweka investment kwa mill ambayo itasiaga upya, kwa sababu ile mill iko hapa ni ya 1978, imezeeka, imeoza, na kwa hivyo haifanyi kazi vile inataka ifanyike.
On the list of the president's plan, it is to clear a sum of 117 billion Kenyan shillings debt that has been slowing down appearing the sugar sector, explaining that its leadership has to be changed to ensure the incoming leadership will be working perfectly.
Ya 3, hii madeni ikiondoka, mimi naweka pesa ya cane development, mimi naweka pesa ya kununua mill mpya, lakini management lazima tubadilishe. Management, madeni ya hizi kampuni zetu bilioni 117, ikiwemo bilioni 50 ya hapa Nzoia. Mimi niliwaambia tutafutilia mbali kama serikali ya Kenya.
Ruto has also promised to buy sugar production machines and funding them for innovation. Mumias and Nzoia sugar companies have been in the headlines for not paying their farmers to produce and sell their sugar.
Exactly 1 year ago, 28th of August 2022, uliomba na sisi hapa Bungoma Cathedral. Mwaka mmoja kamili umerudi hapa. Na wakati umekuja hapa, umesema unataka ukuje Nzoia. Because this is a lifeline ya watu wa Bungoma. Hapa ndio mambo yote inafanyika. Mimi nimesoma hapa. Nzoia wazazi walikuwa wakileta miwa, wanapeleka tu receipt kwa shule, karo inalipwa.
Ruga Ival, Lookuptv.
Thank you, Ruga Ival, for that report. Moving on, our schools continue to reopen across the country for the 3rd term. Transport was hectic early Tuesday morning as fare prices were hiked at different matatu stages as a result of shortage of vehicles. Now, pedestrian and vehicle traffic was witnessed in the Nairobi Central Business District and across some parts of the country, including in the coastal regions of Malindi, Kilifi, and where students and parents had to wait for vehicles for a long period of time.
This was the situation. More passengers than public transport vehicles.
No, it was a better journey.
Signifying the opening of the 3rd session for the all learners across the country.
I'm Naitore. I'm a passenger traveling to Meru. Today, traveling is a bit tiresome today because there are not available cars. You have to wait to book so that you can get the next available car. The rates are not so badly off considering it's high peak, so obviously there is a hike of price.
Marking the beginning of an end of the 2023 education calendar year.
I'm Beatrice, mimi ni msasi na nimeleta mtoto na 20k wanatupea ofa safa. Iko poa. Lakini maisha ni gumu. Lakini tunashukuru Mungu.
A shortage of long distance vehicles has been experienced in Nairobi's city center, which has resulted in a doubling of fares.
It's Murioki. I'm the driver of 20k. Kulingana na leo vile iko juu watoto wa kurudi shule maneno ama jamu yatushika huku, hata afadhali saa ile hakuna nini kurudi ya watoto. Gari iko ya mafuta ama kulingana na usafiri wa leo sio mbaya vile juu bei nayo iko juu kidogo. Kwa hivyo at least itapakisha kitu kizuri.
Public service transport vehicles have been forced to outsource and increase the number of vehicles from their counterparts who provide services in Nairobi and its environs to accommodate the large number of passengers.
Kawaida najua kama sisi tumezoea kama raha, sisi tumezoea kubeba abiria wetu na 1000. So hata kama iko juu, hata wengine wakiwa bei juu, sisi tuna maintain 1000. So tuna always is equal.
Wakali watoto wanarudi shule tarehe 29. Ni vigumu kidogo, ni vigumu kwa wale wazazi wa kawaida wenye hawajaandikwa kazi.
The situation was similar in different parts of the country, including Malindi in Kilifi County, where many students have remained in bus stations as some parents complained of the difficulties and high cost of living, following learners reporting and being sent back by the school administration to settle school fees arrears.
Kwa hivyo hali ni ngumu kabisa. Mtoto wangu yuko atafanya mtihani na amekuwa akiregeshwa nyumbani kwa sababu ya ugumu wa maisha. Kwa hivyo serikali iangalie wazazi, iangalie, maanake hali ya uchumi ni mbaya sana.
Kulikuwa watoto wengi sana tunapata pa stage, hata magari yalikuwa hayatoshi, wanafanya kuyasubiri, lakini saa hii hizi gari ndo zinasubiri hao watoto. Kwa hivyo ina maana kwamba saa hii watoto wengi bado wamesalia nyumbani. Nafikiri tatizo ni hiyo school fee, hilo ndo tatizo kubwa kwao. Kweli hapa fare hatujapandisha, kwa sababu hatujapandisha ni vile ile hali ya uchumi vile ambavyo iko saa hii tu. Hizo gari tunazifanya kuzibambanya kwenda. Je, tukiongeza fare ina maana kwamba hizo gari zitalala kabisa?
Parents now want the government to address the cost of living stalemate, as well as they want school heads to give them more leeway to organize themselves on how to pay the school fees.
Shule zimefunguliwa na already nishapata wanafunzi hapa pamoja na wazazi takriban 50 wakidaisha kwamba watoto wao walienda kuripoti jana na wakaregeshwa. Leo ndio wakaja wazazi wengine pia, nikazungumza na wao, nikawaelekeza kwamba warudishe watoto shule, waende kama wazazi pia waende wakaongee na walimu ili wale watoto waweze kubaki shuleni, na especially wengi ambao wanarudishwa ni wale form 4s ambao wanaenda kumaliza course yao ya kidato cha 4.
As learning kicked off for the third term, various stakeholders including parents and transport sectors have continued to express varied opinions. With fares hiking, parents still believe there is hope that all will be well as learners continue with their education. Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Right, thank you Stanley Lugaria for that particular report. And that report by Stanley Lugaria takes us to our first break here on the program. I just want to take your feedback here. Cosmas Otieno says Ndaragwa well represented. Thank you so much for tuning in. Abdi Rashid Ahmed Mohammed says watching from, let me just take that again. Watching from 009. Pablo Moja says watching from Ruiru. And I believe this is Odamo says watching from Mombasa. Thank you so much for your feedback. I think there's one more here that I want to read in regards to the story about President William Ruto. He says, Zedi Baraza says, but he will not apologize. In fact, he speaks for millions of Kenyans who can't face cartels. That is in regards to the story that we just done about LSK condemning President William Ruto's statement as far as cartels in the sugar sector are concerned. Continue engaging us on our Facebook page, that is at Lookuptv on Facebook, and also Lookuptv on Twitter. I'll be sampling your feedback as we continue the program tonight. But now we take a break. We'll be back with more.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection. added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park, fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Realize your home ownership dream by investing in Brookvale Tuala, a magnificent prime residential property located in Ongata, Rongai. Brookvale Tuala by Safaricom Investment Cooperative overlooks the majestic Ngong Hills and lies only 24 kilometers from Nairobi CBD. The project boasts of well-serviced plots with a perimeter wall, graded roads and a borehole. 50 by 100 plots are going for 1.4 million shillings with a flexible payment plan of up to 6 months. To book your plot, call 0729 121212 today. Safaricom Investment Cooperative, the investment partner of choice.
Now, thank you so much for staying with us here on the Bottom Line. Now, moving on, the Senate has today approved the formation of the National Dialogue Committee that will spearhead the talks between both sides of the political divide. And as Ian Ketani now reports, the motion was supported by a majority of the senators, with those from the ruling coalition calling upon the committee to prioritize issues affecting the common man.
After the National Assembly voted to approve the Dialogue Committee, the Senate counterparts have today followed suit after the committee members wanted the team to be recognized legally for the recommendations to be recognized constitutionally.
Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
The Senate, however, resolved that the committee shall brief President William Ruto and Azimio leader Raila Odinga on the recommendations before tabling it in the National Assembly and the Senate.
That the National Dialogue Committee shall report to the leadership of Kenya Kwanza and Azimio coalitions within 60 days and thereafter submit its report to Parliament. That in the execution of its mandate, the National Dialogue Committee may invite, engage with and consider submission from stakeholders, collect views from the public and engage experts, professionals and other technical resource persons.
Senators allied to the Kenya Kwanza coalition took the opportunity to call out Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga, with Isiolo Senator Fatma Dulo cautioning the House over a repeat of the same after the 2027 elections.
If you have been defeated, you have been defeated. Go and wait for 5 years, and after that, go for another election and see whether you will go through. But at the bottom of my heart, there is no solution to this problem. And the same thing will be repeated next, even after 2027.
The best national dialogue happened on the 9th of August, Mr. Speaker, and the people of Kenya spoke. 50 million of the people of Kenya spoke to this particular issue, and they voted for William Ruto. There is nothing that the 10-member committee can do to it. The final and the apex of that matter was at the Supreme Court. There's nothing that Kimani Ichung'wah and Kalonzo Musyoka can do to that particular fact.
However, Siaya Senator Oburu Odinga differed sharply with his Kenya Kwanza counterparts, while insisting that the talks will help shape the country's future.
Dialogue is always the way to go. And this is not only in Kenya, it is all over the world. And Mr. Speaker, those who are saying that there has been negotiations every election in Kenya, maybe were born yesterday. But I can tell them that since independence, which is more than 60 years, there have been always elections every 5 years, and I don't think there was a dialogue every 5 years.
Uasin Gishu Senator Jackson Mandago, while voicing his support for the dialogue talks, noted that the committee should come up with a policy framework to ensure the masterminds of the demonstrations pay for the destruction witnessed during any chaotic protests.
I would also want to urge those who are going to discuss that the compensation of property destroyed must also be discussed. And I propose, Mr. Speaker, to those who are going to sit there, that the funds should be sourced from political parties that were involved in those losses, Mr. Speaker.
The talks are now expected to take shape after the approval in Parliament, as their recommendations will now be legally binded. Ian Keitani, Lookuptv.
All right, thank you so much, Ian Kitani, for that report. Moving on to some good news tonight. Now, Kenyan Golden Girls Faith Kipyegon and Mary Moraa received a heroic welcome at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport after representing the country at the concluded World Athletics Championship in Budapest, Hungary. Now, consequently, Senate Sports Committee has raised concerns of the state of sports in the country. RUTO Sheke now reports.
With pride and elation, after putting the country on the map, the Kenya athletic team, which represented the country in the concluded World Athletic Championship in Budapest, received a heroic welcome at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Sports Principal Secretary Peter Toom was among the Kenyans who received them, saying the government has plans to improve the sports industry.
Is that we have realized that they need more training. And therefore, we are now encouraging ourselves to put more funding on issues of training. And when you saw what they did this time as a group, it is very motivating. I found a very motivated group. I found a group that is want to win for Kenya, a group that, speaks to itself. And therefore, as government, we are very proud of them. We are very proud of you. You've hoisted our flag very high, and will continue giving that support.
Among the athletes are Faith Kipyegon, 3 times 1500-meter title holder and 5000-meter gold winner, and 800-meter gold medalist Mary Moraa. Faith Kipyegon now aims to participate in the 2024 Olympics that will be held in Paris, France.
This is a big motivation, I still want to push myself to empower young girls out there to know that everything is possible in life. I want to make history. I've done so in Budapest, winning 15 and 5,000. So I still want to do history, being the first woman to win 3 gold medals in Olympics.
I think bado sijamaliza season. Niko na Brussels Diamond League 400 meters, then nimalizie Eugene, from there nirudi nianze kujipangia Paris next year.
Team Kenya won a total number of 10 medals, including 3 gold medals, 3 silver medals, and 4 bronze medals. Kenya finished the championship in the 5th position, ranking them top in the African continent. Meanwhile, the Senate Committee on Sports, among them Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei and Kilifi Senator Stewart Madzayo, raised their concerns over the state of sports in the country.
Provide the full details of contracts signed between the Ministry of Sports, Athletics Kenya and Nike, and mark you, the Minister of Sports, on several occasions, and I want you to examine those photos he takes. He normally wears shoes of Adidas, yet we have a contract of Nike, and the contract between Athletics Kenya and Olympic Committee of Kenya. Number 4, expound on the training kits and grants donated by various international partners to Athletics Kenya and how it was distributed to various training levels in Kenya and the teams traveling for various competitions.
For Lookup Sports, I'm RUTO Sheke.
All right, now thank you, Sheke, for that particular report. Now that is the question that we are asking you tonight. What do you think should be done to, make the performance of athletes, or what do you make of the performance of athletes out there? Are you proud of them? Tell us in our comments, and we'll be able to sample some of that as we continue with the program tonight. This also is in line with this, Your Opinion Matters, that we went to the streets to find out. Now listen, Kenya's athletics has been a source of global admiration for decades, and the triumphant return of Faith Kipyegon and Mary Moraa from the World Athletics Championship in Budapest, Hungary, has awakened the nation's spirit. The big question we are asking tonight is, what do you make of the performance, and is there more that can be done? Right.
Kenya has emerged 5th in the world in the recently concluded World Athletic Championship in Budapest, Hungary, bagging a total of 10 medals, which includes 3 gold medals, 4 silvers, and 3 bronze medals. Today, in Your Opinion Matters, we ask, following the just concluded World Athletics in Budapest, Hungary, What is your take on the performance of Kenyan athletes?
Mimi naweza sema wamejaribu sana. Ingawa wanadada ndio wamejaribu kabisa kuliko wanaume, juu gold zote zimeletwa ni wanadada. Natumai next time hata wanaume watajikakamua tufike nambari 1.
I'm very much proud of them and we keep on trying. Always we are champions.
Waendelee hivyo kupigania nchi yetu, ndio hatuna lingine. Mpira hatunjiwezi, yetu ni mbio. Hata tungangane.
Mimi nahisi vizuri kama Mkenya kwa sababu tulichukua ushindi.
Actually our athletes have made us proud for even the past years. They have been making us proud as Kenyans, and that's what we deserve. As a country, we are requesting maybe our leaders to make some effort to congratulate them in such a manner that it will motivate them to do.
However, in contrast to Kenya's dominance in athletics over the decades, sportsmen still continue to witness various challenges. Kenyans have also lamented on the formation of the Talantahela Committee.
Tuliona wakati na babu na Moba alikuwa kwa bugi. Hata yeye mwenyewe anauliza maswali hawezi kujibu. Na yeye ndio tunategemea atuambie kuhusu mchezo vile inaenda. Hivyo shida tu ni serikali. Kuna kitu kingine. Ombi langu kwa serikali, hao wanariadha watunzwe mzuri. Kama nchi zingine venye tunaonaga wanariadha huwa wanatunzwa.
Sasa hao wanariadha kwa maoni yangu waangaliwe vizuri maslahi yao vizuri, na serikali isiwatupilie mbali. Kama unajua kuna mchezo ya football, unajua sisi tunasabikia watu wengine kule nje, nchi zingine akina Brazil na wapi, lakini sisi kama vijana wa Kenya hatujapewa nafasi ya kucheza michezo yetu. Tuwe first priority kama wa vijana, tujiinue kimchezo.
Amin Abdurrahman, Lookuptv.
Right, one of them says, mpira hatujiwezi, so we should be proud of our athletes for how they've represented us. So what is your take? What do you think about their performance overall? And is there anything more that can be done to make sure that we improve that? What do you make of the entire sports docket? Share with us your feedback on our Facebook page at Lookuptv. We'll be sampling that as we continue the program tonight. Away from that, it is a big win for Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino after a Nairobi court set him free in a case which he was charged with misusing his firearm in the shooting of Felix Orinda, popularly known as DJ Evolve. Now, trial magistrate Bernard Ochoi, while acquitting Babu Owino, ruled that the prosecution failed to present enough evidence against the lawmaker.
Babu Owino was initially charged with two counts. In count 1, he had been charged with the offense of attempted murder, contrary to section 220 of the Penal Code. And the particulars were that on 17th January at a B Club, Galana Plaza in Kilimani area, he unlawfully attempted to cause the death of Felix Odhiambo Orinda by shooting him on the neck. This charge was compromised, and it was withdrawn under section 204 CPC on the 14th of December 2021. In the second count, which is a charge facing the accused now before this court, the accused is charged with the offense of behaving disorderly while carrying a firearm, and the particulars of the offense are that on the 17th day of January 2020 at B Club, Galana Plaza in Kilimani area within Nairobi County, while carrying a firearm, make a style pistol, serial number 3159039, he became disorderly and fired one round of ammunition with intent to shoot Felix Orinda. In support of the charges, the prosecution called a total of 10 witnesses, who included George Otieno Mburi, security manager at B Club, the particular day, Godfrey Mwai, the manager of both the big club at Kilimani and Gossip Club at Lovington on the particular day. One Derek Globa Makoa, a driver working at big club. The above stated reasons, the accused is found not guilty and is acquitted under section 215 CPC. And in conclusion, the court notes that this is a case of great public interest that may have gone wrong during investigations, and perhaps the DCI should consider such cases being investigated in future by senior experienced officers, at least in the rank of Inspector of Police and above. So that is the judgment of the court.
This judgment has gone the way the Almighty God wanted it to go. That is how God wanted it to go. And I want to say that the day that I will be victorious is the day that I will see DJ Evolve walk, stand by my side. And I want to assure DJ Evolve and members of the public that I will walk by DJ Evolve's side. I will always be there for him. And in fact, I'm planning to take him to India for further treatment. And I'm praying to the Almighty God to grant Felix both the physical and spiritual strength.
Now, as the country strives to manage solid waste disposal, Bidii Yangu, an environmental conservation group in Bondeni Estate, Nakuru County, has taken the initiative to recycle plastic waste creatively to create flower vases, shoe racks, and other home decor. Wairimu Wasike now reports.
Nakuru County, a harbour of beauty and serenity, but like many places in Kenya, the encroachment of solid and plastic waste has adversely affected the environment of Nakuru, leading to clogging of drains, littering of the streets, and pollution of fresh air. The local community in the sprawling Bondeni Estate has taken a step ahead in the recycling business and is turning discarded plastic bottles and used car tires into a fortune. Meet 28-year-old Consolata Wanjohi, who highlights to us, while most people consider discarded plastic bottles as rubbish and disgusting, her environment conservation group sees it as a raw material for pure art. Wanjohi, as a member of Bidii Yangu Environment Conservation Group, is giving life to used plastic as a way of reducing their pollution, dumping and burning.
What you do, you take one bottle and make holes on the top side and on the downside. Then you insert the wires in a systematic manner. Then after it's done now, you can make the whole bin. This one, as you can see, it's on the matters of reducing and recycling to reduce the plastic waste in our community.
While speaking to us, Chepto has highlighted that the conservation group has also gone a notch higher in redefining the narrative about environmental conservation by manufacturing briquettes from a blend of charcoal dust and cow dung as one way of reducing reliance of firewood, thus reducing destruction of forests.
Zamani walikuwa wanatupa samadi ovyo ovyo kama vile chenga makaa unakuta zimemwagwa, lakini tuliwaonesha umuhimu ya kuweka pamoja. Sisi kama group tunanunua na tunanunua samadi ndio tunakuja tunatengeneza makaa yetu.
Secretary of the group, Martin Mwanthi, who now owns a homestead surrounded by a perimeter wall made up of stacked plastic bottles, says that building structures with waste plastic cuts the cost by about 40%. Mwanthi explains that constructing houses using plastic bottles reduces the need for other building materials, particularly sand and concrete blocks.
The stream, hiyo vile imeingizwa kwa hiyo waya inakuja inapigiliwa hapa, waya ya juu inapigiliwa na waya ya chini inapigiliwa, then inakuja inakaziwa hapa to make it tight, so tunapiga kwa pole ya pili, then kwa the next pole as it goes round mpaka mahali itakuwa inaishia. It is a very firm wall, a very firm wall because the type of wire tumetumia kuunganisha hizi chupa ni ile wire ambayo inatolewa kwa tiles.
Wairimu Wasike, Lookuptv.
Right, that's quite impressive. Good work being done there as far as environment conservation is concerned, especially right now as we are about to host one of the biggest summits as far as matters climate are concerned. Away from that, now more than 2,500 residents from Likii and Majengo slums in Nanyuki have received food aid from a business community to cushion them against hunger. Now with a focus on the elderly and the sick in these slums who are at the risk of starvation. Let's take a look at this and more.
Nanyuki residents have received food donation from a business community in the region aimed at fighting hunger. According to Laikipia Deputy County Commissioner Patrick Muli, the residents have been facing starvation due to unemployment. Kabata, however, say the charity program has been there since the offset of COVID-19 pandemic, which left many people jobless, but the exercise now aims at helping them cope with life as they seek alternatives.
So leo tumeweza kukuja hapa kama Moran Lounge Nanyuki na our clients na our suppliers kuweza kupatia hao watu over 2,500 chakula.
In other news, the Ma community leaders have sent a stern warning to non-governmental conservation organization opposing the directive to revert Amboseli National Park to the county government of Kajiado, saying the organization will be banned from operating within Ma counties.
Any NGO that works in Samburu that will interfere with the presidential pronouncement, we will deal with you everywhere, including Samburu. So you want, please allow the people of Kajiado to manage their own resources.
Elsewhere in Transmara South, Narok County, an improved pilot livestock project has gained traction since its initiation 5 years ago. Speaking during a handing over ceremony at Logori, Professor Rotemo Michieka, NRF chairman, cited production of high-yield milk, meat, hides, and resistance to disease as key objectives of the project.
Hii mambo ya sawal tumepitia mambo mengi na tumefaidika nayo. Wako na challenges mingi. Tumejifunia kupata dome kutoka na Naivasha.
Faith Bonareri, Lookuptv.
Right, now let's get sporty tonight. Two non-governmental organizations, Kirimi Foundation and Goodwill Foundation, have partnered with the aim of using sports to curb crime in the slums of Majengo, Shauriako and Mijini in Meru County. Now the two organizations held a football tournament which brought youth together and the residents got free medical checkup.
Kwa leo tulikuanga na event ya Mega Medical Camp. Tumekuwa hapa na football matches ya charity. Kwa leo tulikuwa tunafanya event ndio at least tuweze kuleta mavijana pamoja, waweze kujijua hali yao. Mchezo kama hii ujumuisha vijana wanakaa pamoja. Unaona kama hii mchezo imeanza kutoka asubuhi saa 4. Saa hii ni kitu saa 11 inaelekea hapo. So time yenye ameshinda hapa akiwatch mpira, akishabikia timu yake, imemwavoidia kupatana na mambo mingi kama wizi, kutumia dawa za kulevya, kulewa.
Football generally not only in Kenya, it demands a lot of finance. So if there is any way we can be supported for us to go a bit far, it will be very okay by us. Kenyan football, there are lots of talents, especially on this Upper Eastern, Meru, Isiolo. But it's very unfortunate that we've not been known out there. And I believe by this exposure we would go far.
Right, 44 minutes past the hour. We've come to the end of our bulletin tonight here on the Bottom Line on Lookuptv. Thank you so much for making time for this show. Let me see if there's feedback here, because I did promise that I was going to take a look at it. Yes, there. Okay, I see Roho Moja Isiolo says, I think corruption rather is higher in the game. This is in regards to the story about sports in the country. Says, I think corruption is higher in the game. This is Roho Moja Isiolo. Thank you so much for your feedback and contributing to this bulletin tonight. Let me see if I can get one more here. Just a second. Yes, here. Nicodemus Okindo says, watching from South Beast. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Roho Moja Isiolo says, County 011 is watching, and you come back to says, I think corruption is high in the game. This is in regards to the question that we did ask. What do you think should be done in the sports sector to make sure that we get improved performance in the coming days and in future? I do thank you so much for taking part to watch the bulletin tonight here on Lookuptv and engaging us on our socials. There are on Facebook and sending your feedback. We do not take that for granted. Let's do this again next time. On behalf of everybody that has made this program a success tonight, I do want to thank you so much for watching. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Josephine Oko. My name is Brian Amuai. Good night and God bless you.